album release. It's a special day when your first album comes out. It was magic. We were like unwrapping everything, and the first time you see yourself on the album cover at that time, it was something very special for us. And it was Sentence of Death, of course. And I think the moment even before that, our first demo tape, that was also very magical, because it was the first time you could hear our music recorded in a professional studio, and we had it on tape. You know, at the time it was a big tape trader scene, so tapes were almost as important as vinyl. Of course, when the album came out on a real label, it was even better. But I think the moment when we had the first tape with the first own music was a little bit more magical, because we never thought this would happen, that we, you know, have our own recordings and stuff. It felt very special. Depends on how you see a festival. You know, nowadays festivals are like Wacken and big shows. Back in the day, we played a very little festival in Braunschweig. It was the first festival we ever played, together with Rage. And I remember the Hells Angels were kind of security guards. And yeah, I think I had my first currywurst also, because it didn't exist in my region in South Germany at that time. And the big festival we played, the first one was Dynamo Open Air, together with Testament and Striper in '87, I think. But the one with Rage was already '85, so that was maybe the first real festival. Small, but you know, first time with other bands, open air. Ever. It's not so easy to remember all the details, you know, it's a little blurry at the beginning, but I remember the show with Sodom and Iron Angel in Altenessen, Germany in December '84. Was maybe the first show we ever played. There was another show in Oberursel, close to Frankfurt, but I think it was later. This one must have been the first show. We were very nervous. We played in the heart of thrash metal at that time. Essen is where Creator are from, Gelsenkirchen where Sodom are from, that's next to each other, and also the other thrash bands were from that region. Darkness and Death Row, and yeah, a lot of bands. So yeah, I remember we became friends and we met the first time, and it was legendary, for sure. Fuck. I don't remember. I think it was like this. The guys had a band and they were looking for a bass player. And they asked me to play bass, and I said yes, and then we drove to the next big city, which was Freiburg, and we bought the bass there for me. And then we met at their rehearsal room at that time. It was the band Before Destruction, and we were actually having a second guitarist and a singer and stuff, and the band was more like playing heavy metal. And I think the first song I ever played on bass with the band was some cover of UFO, Doctor was the first song that I could play on bass. So yeah, it's a little far away, but I think that's how it was. Musician likes this first minutes when you enter the stage. I think it's like jumping with a parachute out of the plane, you know. You don't know what happens. Will everything work? Will the stage be on fire? And you know, you never know what happens. And I think it sucks. The first seconds on stage are like the moment where, you know, is it gonna be hell or is it gonna be heaven? And I think we came out and it felt right away good. All the arms were going up. The crowd was very intense. It was a great feeling, and it was a great show in the end. And I think I'm glad we recorded this one. I want to still thank Arnie for this, our old sound guy, Arnie Lackenmacher. He actually recorded the show for us by accident, by surprise. Otherwise, we wouldn't have it by now. And thanks, Arnie, again. Good one. The Destruction fans are thankful too, I guess.